All right, this says we're live. Excellent. Wanted to talk about listening and talking. One of the things that we know, is that we talk to ourselves and we listen to ourselves. And both are really, really important. Now, I'm in the personal development business, and I have been for 17 years, and I don't do anything else. I work on me. I have lots of coaching that I get, and I give coaching to a lot of people. Now, there's different kinds of coaching, right? You're trying to teach somebody a specific skill, like I've taught piano and composition and vocal singing, and I've taught all kinds of different things, and so have you. As a coach, we're trying to help people create skills themselves, and that's something that's really powerful. We just finished today a challenge that we did called Dream It, Build It, Write It. And if you want to see what that was, go to dreambuildwriteit.com. Dreambuildwriteit.com. It's for those who want to create programs, write books, create keynote speeches that have a message you want to get in the world. Are you a messenger? Do you have a thing that you want to share? And when I say, are you a messenger, some people, imagine something like Joan of Arc or whatever. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, has something happened in your life or some things that have made you feel like, wow, I should be out helping. There's something I can give. There's all kinds of ages and people. I had a guest on my podcast a year or so ago who was, I think, 21 or 22. He was just out of high school a couple of years, or 3 years maybe. And you know what? He was a speaker, and his mission was to help kids that are still in high school making choices to realize if they took control of their own lives and busted their ass, they could do stuff. And he grew up in the projects and had a story of resilience and recovery, and he was 21. And I was blown away. I'm like, wow, he's probably 22 now. I listened to him talk. He was a guest on my show. It was amazing. Now, I just had some people today on my challenge that were 75, 71, and I'm going to be 69 next month, that are older, and that length of experience has given you, or me, or you, or all of us, a set of experiences and knowledge that would be useful, that you can help people with and also make a living, make money. And you should, because when you provide something valuable, you should get paid. So it's not complicated to understand. Now, today I was talking about talking or listening, talking to yourself or listening to yourself. Well, let's talk about that. Because how many times have you talked to yourself when you say, I can't do that. I'm afraid it won't work. I'm going to blow it. I'll never do that. I could never do that. Oh, I could never. Phrases that start like that. How often have you done that? Well, I've done that a million times. I don't do that anymore. Never. But I used to. And so I've unlearned that habit. Why did I go to the effort and energy of changing that habit? Because it was destructive. It disempowered me. It put me in lethargy and laziness and not getting things done. And that's certainly not how I got to writing the 20 books that I've written and all the courses I've created and the coaching practice I've got of clients around the world. Here's the reason it's important for you right here, right now. You may be talking to yourself in a negative way. You may be filling your mind with garbage, stories about how you've been hard done by, or how so-and-so has harmed you, or how you'll never get ahead, or how everybody else gets the breaks, or how you've had a bad hand dealt. That all may be true, and I'm not even saying it's not. What I'm saying is that doesn't have to define you. There are a group of people who say, I don't care what happens around me, I'm not going to let it define me, limit me, keep me down. You probably know some. Maybe you are one of those that says, I'm not going to let circumstances or other people define or limit me. Sometimes we do it belligerently, like, I'll show you, like, don't tell me what I can't do, that sort of feeling. And other times it's just a quiet certainty where you feel called to do a thing. You feel called to serve in a particular way, to love, to bless, to lift, to help people who've gone through addictions, abuse, struggles, divorce, bankruptcy, financial meltdowns, whatever it is. Maybe you feel called to help people create a business or learn how to drop ship on Amazon, but you feel called to do it. There's a difference between feeling a calling, feeling like you need to do something because it's just who you are, and let's see what I can do to make money. Now, we all need cash, and I love making money, and I'm assuming you do too. But there's different ways to make it, and some ways are very fulfilling and others are not. Now, what I was on a kind of a mastermind this morning with 50 or so people on it, and the fellow that was leading it said that there was an interview conducted with someone who's a very wealthy person, and the person leading this mastermind is a wealthy person, very, very wealthy. 8, I don't know, at least maybe 9, maybe 10 figures, really wealthy, very successful. But anyway, he said the most important factor determining success, you know what it is? It isn't intelligence, although that helps. It isn't connections, although that's wonderful. It is grit. What is grit? Well, grit can be defined as the ability or willingness to endure hard things for a long time to get something done, to stay focused. I wrote down, you can be someone who just deals with hard things, with struggles, no matter what, and then you are one of those ones that gets to the goal line. Now, you can quit if you want to. We know where that goes, and some days you just don't feel it. You can't get motivated. Okay, you go to a movie or eat some cheesecake or whatever. But if you're one who gets back up and goes after it again, here's the secret. You need to know when to listen to yourself and when to talk to yourself. Sometimes we talk to ourselves when we should be listening, and we listen when we should be talking. Now, that might sound like a little bit of a riddle, but let me tell you what I mean. When we get discouraged, when you get discouraged, and you're trying to do something and it's hard, you say, I can't, I feel, it's just too hard. It's difficult. And if you listen to your body saying that, you quit, you rack the weights, you stop the run. This morning, I was having that experience. I was in an ice bath this morning, and I had planned to get in it for a certain length of time. And when it got to that length of time, my body was saying to me, I'm freezing. It's literally an ice bath. I mean, there was water in it, but all kinds of floating ice and very, very cold. And when I got to that point, my body was like, okay, you got it. You did what you said. You get out. And I was talking to myself saying, no, I'm going to stay in for this much longer. Another minute, another 2 minutes. And so I continued to about 10 minutes in a bath that was barely above freezing. Barely above freezing. It was in the 30s. I didn't have a thermometer in, but I know because not much of the ice melted. There was a ton of ice still in the water as I got out after about 10 minutes. So that was a time where talking to myself was what I needed, and I needed to listen to that voice, the voice of I'm not going to quit, the voice of I'm finishing this no matter what. Sometimes it's important if you really want to get to the goals you want. Like I preach all the time on here, you can have whatever you want. You can create the life of purpose, prosperity, cash, and joy. I call it your ultimate life. You can create that. But you can't create it if you say, I give up. If this is too hard, it'll never work, because that's what you'll create. If I listen to myself when I say, I'm tired, I don't want to do anymore, it'll never work, then that's true. If, on the other hand, I hear those voices and I say, you know what? I don't believe that. I'm a finisher. I'm going to finish what I started because I said so, because I choose to be that. If you do that, you'll be a finisher. Can you imagine? I was talking to somebody the other day that ran a marathon, and they were talking about the last 5 miles of finishing that marathon and how much they had to talk to themselves about what their commitment was. Excuse me. I'm going to finish this run. I'm finishing because I said so. I'm finishing. And that talk to themselves is what got them over the goal line. So you and I, and sometimes the listening is really important. Now, one of the things I teach a lot, and many do, is the importance of intuition. There's a difference between intuition, which is divine guidance coming through us, our higher selves or heaven or God speaking to us, calling on our higher nature. That's intuition. That's what we listen to. That body or that cowardice or that voice that says, oh, you can't do this. Oh, man, don't. You'll be embarrassed. You'll fail. It's never going to work. We don't listen to that voice. So that means we have to learn to hear and discern which voice is talking. Sometimes we say, angel on one shoulder and the devil on the other, but it's your true capability speaking on your one shoulder, because you're infinite. You can create that if you want to. But most of us, we give in and we listen to the other one that says it's too hard. It's not enough. I'll never make it. Nobody will care. That kind of stuff. And then we don't. So we need to learn to talk to ourselves and say the words of encouragement. Now, you've all heard the story about the white wolf and the black wolf inside. And, it reputed to be a native story from Native Americans, I think, First Nations. And they're talking about a white wolf and black wolf inside. A father's teaching his son, I think. And the conflict between them, and the implication is the white wolf is wanting you to do good, powerful, uplifting, building things, and the black wolf is negative, tearing down, that kind of energy. And father told the son the story, and the son says, well, which wolf wins? And the dad says, the one you feed. So what we're talking about right now is which energy, which wolf are you feeding? Are you feeding the wolf of accomplishment, of growth, of power, of love, of service? Is that the one you're feeding? Or are you feeding the one of fear, failure, I'll never get there, embarrassment, and that kind of struggle? That choice of which wolf you feed is independent of how you were brought up, what else was done to you, all those negative things, because those happened. I know it. But it's up to us alone to take control of our lives and feed the wolf or the power or the energy we want to win in the end. I have been through that journey. If you've read Tightrope of Depression, then you know the story. But regardless, here's my encouragement to you. You're a divine being. You can create all the money you want, all the influence you want, and all the power you want. But behold the underlying truth, it comes when you feed that vision. So if you have a vision that says, I just want a boatload of cash, it won't happen. If you have a vision that's clear and specific, not only about having money, but about why. What is the driver? Because that driver is what provides the continual energy to stay on the path, stay in the game, and keep moving. And what I've learned is it can be joyful. I used to think it was drudge. I got to go grind it out another day. Nonsense. I love my days. I live on fire, and I'm excited all the time. I live that ultimate life, purpose, prosperity, and joy. My commitment to you is to help you get there. My commitment this year is to help 300 million people create wealth and impact by using your white wolf, your creative energy. Now, if you want my help, reach out. There's a URL on the screen, KellanFlukigerMedia.com. Great. Or you can go to another one, yourultimatelife.ca. That's what it is, yourultimatelife.ca. Either one of those will let you connect with me, and let's talk, because that's all I do, is accelerate your growth from where you are to that vision you're holding about where you want to be. Now, you can do it on your own, but that's tough, and it takes a long time. And most people, they quit and get discouraged. Every Olympic athlete, every performer, every musician, every leader, every big CEO, all those people that succeed in ways that we see, they all have coaches and help. Well, I have it. It is way easier, faster, and much smoother to get to the goal line you've got in your mind. So if you want my help, reach out. Regardless, this is your encouragement. Talk to yourself in positive ways. Talk to yourself and feed the power, not the misery. Feed the creation, not the destruction. Feed the growth, not the decay. If I can help you, I will. Let me know. I love you. See you tomorrow.